Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel and welcome my Libras to your monthly April zodiac sign readings. Right now I am trying to get this Palo Santo lit so we can clear the energy. I almost burned myself. I'm clearing the cards. You are the second air sign that I am doing. Just a few reminders. This is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. Always, always, always use your intuition and always trust yourself. Trust your guidance and what you feel, sense, hear, smell, taste. And always practice discernment. It's truly important. Know that energies are fluid and that people have a free will. This reading is for anyone with a sun, moon, rising in Libra or any other major placements, including but not limited to Mars, Venus, Mercury, North Node. So without further ado, we will get started. And we are going to start with the Ancestors and Angels Oracle deck. Welcome my fellow Libras. I'm a Libra too. Libra sun, Libra rising. And I always say +6. I have 6 other placements too in Libra. I got a lot of air. I always like to joke I'm airheady. Some people take it the wrong way. Wow. I'm getting this similar energy to Geminis. Many of you are socialed out. I feel like some of you have ramped up your social outings in the last 2 weeks, essentially since Aries season started, and a lot of you are feeling the effects now, almost like too much. And Libras are known for socializing, talking. Many of you love to entertain, to host, to go out. Many of you, I'm getting this group, I'm tapping into a lot of extroverts, but even if you're an introvert, because I'm very introverted too, but I like talking, I realized, and it's because of my Libra traits. We're communicators, right? And I feel many of you in the same vein as Gemini. I'm getting a tired feeling, but it's more mental, emotional. A lot of you have been talking a lot and may have expended your social batteries. Okay, we're just cutting the deck. Let's go. What messages do our ancestors and angels have for my Libras for the month of April? Maybe it's a Palo Santo making me sleepy. I'm feeling like I'm ready for bed, so maybe some of you are literally getting ready for bed. And it's also here in North Texas. At the time of this recording, it's 10:24 p.m. So literally some of you are getting ready for bed. But I'm just feeling like an overall relaxation right now. Some of you have full weeks ahead. I'm getting calendars full. Oop, we got one. Let's grab for 2 more. Or 1 more, I should say. I don't know. I just said 2 more, didn't I? We'll see what comes out. Okay. Sometimes I'm like, what? Look at this. Honor your inner knowing. We got this with one of the earth signs. Wise one, grow within your current situation. It's always interesting doing a reading when that's your sign. Honor your inner knowing. A lot of you have just left a heavy situation. This has to do with people, by the way. Of course it does. Libra, people, communication. A lot of you have just left a heavy situation, are in the process of leaving, or will be leaving one. And I feel like this surrounds, I'm getting friendships and work. I got work outlets, work lines, people in your professional network. Something wasn't what it appeared. And the thing is, many of you already knew. You've known for a while. Something was off about the situation, about this person or people. I'm getting one person. but it could be more than one. Some of you knew already. Many of you are claircognizant. Many of you are very strongly connected to your ancestors. Many of you have Cancer in your chart. I'm getting Cancer. But many of you did not follow your intuition, or it just took a little bit longer. Ooh, excuse me. A lot of you are old souls here. Have been around the earth block, for a while. Even now it looks like I'm tired because I'm dropping cards. Many of you have been around the earth block for a while. I see with the moon, Cancer. And this isn't the Moonology deck, because the Moonology deck is full of moons. So it wouldn't be as obvious for me to just say, yeah, it's Cancer. But I'm feeling a Cancer influence here. Many of you have spirit animals with crows, ravens, owls. Many of you are guided by ancestors. I'm getting those that may have been grandparents, because I'm not getting just grandmother, I'm getting grandparents. A lot of you are very intuitive. You just know things about people, especially in social dynamics. You can pick up on things very easily about people, but in this situation, there was something that it taught you, something that made you realize that you were right. You knew and had that intuitive foresight. And for some, it was something that you ignored, and for others, it was something that just came a little bit later. But you always knew. So this month, it's about growth. I'm getting a lot of spiritual vibes about people learning lessons and prioritizing their values. I feel like many of you now know that what you experienced was real because of the signs that you saw, but these were intuitive signs. Most other people, you can't pick it up because they're not as overt, but you saw them. So a lot of you, I feel like for a lot of you that this has happened already. This almost makes me, in tarot, you have the swords. This almost makes me think of that, like almost an ode to, and even her shawl, her robe, it's blue. It reminds me of communication, of throat chakra, of speaking. Some of you have held yourself back from saying everything you wanted to in this situation, or to a person or people, because you didn't need to. You left with integrity. I'm just completely getting that right now. Sometimes it's better, things are better left unsaid. It's not worth expending your time or your energy with people, especially if they're reactive, if they themselves are not able to hold space for you, or go or be in that particular mindset to offer that space, because some people just can't. They may be on their own. We're all on different, unique healing journeys, and sometimes people are just not able to do that for you. I'm seeing what the Starseed Oracle has for my Libras, what advice and guidance for the month of April. Many of you are very spiritually connected, though. You receive messages from animals. It's ironic, because I want to be like, me. A lot of us receive communications and signs from flying creatures. Air, right? We connect with them. Owls are extremely wise, and crows and ravens, many of them are tied to the spiritual world. They may be communicating with you and sending you messages. I'm pulling one more card from the Starseed Oracle deck. Okay. That one just kind of fell. We got new ones here. We were getting a lot of repeaters. Keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. This isn't a Starseed Oracle card. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. I see like winged creatures. You see the eagle? And wings. And then more wings up there. It looks like an angel of sorts, but that looks like an ancestor, and those are perhaps mountains or whales, actually. They're whales. They're whales, people. Look at that. I feel like it speaks to Libra. And then we have, are those pumas? Cougars? They're pears. I'm getting Noah's Ark, but I'm immediately getting Libra, pears. You all, this speaks to 7th house. This is us. How ironic this came out. Again, these cards do not have zodiac connections or any signs, but intuitively I'm getting that, and just the cards are screaming that out. Keepers of the earth. Some of you may have earth placements, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in your chart. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Some of your ancestors can come in the form of winged creatures. Look at that. I feel like this is a similar message for another sign. I feel like your ancestors are strongly guiding you right now with what has happened. A lot of them have been sending you intuitive nudges. Some of you are working with grandparents. This is so ironic because it's like deja vu for me. I've been working more with my ancestors. I work with them a lot already, but in particular, I'm working with some newer ones and just calling upon my grandpa that I work with a lot. And even friends of the family that have passed away, they were friends of me, my friends. I consider them, I call them ancestor friends. So remember, ancestors don't have to necessarily be blood related. Some of you may have, doesn't the background look sepia? Like that brownish color? Isn't that weird? Did you see that? Look at that. Okay, I think I'm losing it here. It's changing colors. It could be the ring light, I don't know. I feel like for many of you, you are strongly connecting to your spiritual team, particularly your ancestors. Many of you have a lot of spirit animals, or they're coming forth right now, making their presence known, and you're going to be receiving a lot of messages. It's interesting, air, right? Winged creatures, but also earthly creatures. Some of you have been calling them in, and I'm feeling like you didn't get their support. You felt like you didn't get their support, but they've always been there. And it's another reminder, sometimes we don't feel our ancestors in the way that we think we should, or in the way that we want them to. I always envision, like, I'm going to see my grandpa, his whole body, materialize before me, and I'm going to be like, hey, and we're going to be like, what's up? And we're going to exchange messages and call it a day. It doesn't, no. I do know some psychic mediums do actually see the materialization of spirit beings. They can see people. I don't yet. But I see my grandfather in my mind's eye, and some of you are going to get different ways of communicating with your ancestors. They could be signs, messages, calls, people you meet with the same name, and they give you a message. Birds, animals, maybe they had favorite, fill in the blank, favorite foods, animals, locations, whatever it is, they're all going to come in to fruition and play a part in helping you translate those messages. And for many, I got like 25 to 40, 43%. I'm like, why 43? I just got 43. 25 to 43% of you, we'll just say roughly a quarter to a little bit less than half, will be able to see them, maybe clairvoyantly through dreams. Some of you do connect to your ancestors through dreams. They come to you. And some of you are psychic mediums that may connect to your passed on loved ones. Oh, I didn't even tell you the second one. The ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. I strongly feel, to me, the rose represents love. It's the flower that vibrates at the highest frequency, has the highest vibrational frequency, the closest one to love. And as Libras, we're ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love, beauty, money, worth, values, relationships. I'm getting strong Libra resonance here. Wow. You even see the two columns. Everything is symmetrical too. I feel like something with the situation that's unfolded that you may have gone through, there was a reason for this, and it has to do with your own worth, with your own sense of self, how you're valued, who you are, and with your boundaries especially. I'm getting boundaries because of these two columns. A lot of you knew this already in this particular situation. You knew what was happening. You knew this particular situation or person or people. There was something off about them. And I want to see, I always like looking at the bottom of the decks now. Look, we got High Priest, Intend and Create. Many of you are going forward. A lot of this represents the subconscious, what's hidden. Oh no, Grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. That's beautiful. I've never gotten this card before. Some of you may work with Jesus, with different ascended masters. I feel like a lot of you are calling in your spiritual team at this moment. Some of you have gone through or are going through, or this may be imminent, something that's about to happen, or will go through something that's a little bit difficult. I'm sensing again with people, it has to do with a relationship of sorts. It could be amorous, but I'm getting more like friendship. It could be like a work environment or some other situation where you were receiving intuitive nudges and messages about it and you didn't necessarily follow it or pay attention. But some of you saw the signs a little bit later than you should have, only because you didn't trust your own intuitive guidance, your internal compass, your knowing. And it's okay, we keep learning. And again, it's not a race to know who's going to learn this faster. It's very individual. We are all on different timelines. I see a lot of nodding and just yeses. That's what I'm getting right now. A lot of nodding and yeses. For some, this was a friendship. Or someone you thought was a friend and it wasn't. And I know when people betray you, it's easy for, especially Libras, because you don't like conflict. Well, I should say, not you. We don't like conflict. We want to maintain the peace, but not at the expense of our value. Many of you are letting go of that, of people pleasing to your detriment. Let's see what the Moonology Manifestation Oracle has in terms of guidance for my Libras. Ooh. Got one. Let's pull another card. I feel like many of you you've grown tremendously, like this card indicates, the Wise One, in this situation, because you now are able to see the complete picture. For a lot of you, this has already happened. The situation has transpired. I strongly feel this with another person, a relationship. I feel like this person may have not been who they said they were. They weren't treating you right. They were taking advantage of you. They may have been talking behind your back, because I sense like a betrayal. Some of them, there was nothing wrong. They just weren't your cup of tea. They weren't for you. But you were hanging on to them simply because you were trying to acquiesce to their needs. There we go. I'm getting air. There's a shit ton of air here. Like the cards, I just feel tons of Libras here. You guys may also share Libra in many other aspects. Moon, rising, sun, if you're not watching for your sun. Venus, Mars, Mercury, North Node, Jupiter, Scorpio, Uranus, Neptune. Some of you may have it in a lot. We got Clear Your Mind. Last quarter moon in Gemini, of course. As an air sign, Libras are very much stuck in their head a lot, very analytical, very logical. And so clearing the mind is really important, especially if you've just undergone a situation like that. Emotional, any type of situation relating to other people, it's taxing on the mind. And it can be emotionally and mentally draining. So take time out for yourself. A lot of you are tapping into your spiritual team right now. We have a full moon in Libra coming, and I kid you not, look at the second card that I pulled. Sometimes I just want to smack my head and be like, this can't be possible. Look at this. We have a full moon in Libra coming up on the 16th of April. And I'm reading for Libra. Look at this. Find balance. So this situation, this relationship that you were in, amorous, platonic, friendship, or work, I'm getting friendship, was definitely off kilter. It was not in balance. I sense it was one-sided. And a lot of you are now realizing this and have been adding up all the puzzle pieces. And I feel like it's not just one friend, it's more than one too. And many of you are balancing the scales. You're like, no effing more. You see the light, the moon at the end of the tunnel. You're ready to release. A lot of you have already released this or are in the process. This full moon can serve as a reminder too. So you can do more release work. Oh, what a confirmation. I'm like, yep, I resonate with this too, guys. It's interesting how sometimes the cards you get, you're like, what? Right now we're pulling from the Angel Guide Oracle to see what guidance our angels have. Some of you are healers. I say that broadly. I feel like all of you that watch are healers, but I feel like some of you are identify as shamans or mystics. I'm shuffling this really, really well. Okay. What messages do my angels have for my Libras for the month of April? Oh, hell to the no. Should I take them? Okay, fine. Look how many cards came out. I am very always hesitant about taking cards, but I heard a firm yes with an exclamation point. It's funny because I'm like, how do you hear exclamation points? You can hear them. Okay, we will do this one by one. Clear, cancel, and release. Is that not confirmation? Find balance. Clear your mind. Yeah, many of you are releasing people, situations, and also I'm also getting what I got in Gemini. Many of you are healing ancestral patterns, but these are also self-limiting beliefs. You're healing your own wounds, your own traumas, things that you have experienced your entire life. This has to do with worth, boundaries, your sense of self. Many of you are like, I'm effing done. Look at that. This angel means business. Do you see that? It's like she created a shield and then she's sending energy out to protect herself. She's like, nope, out. You're not coming in my bubble. This was definitely one-sided. I definitely feel whatever situation you were in, it was off-kiltered. No, it was one-sided, and that really affects Libras. When something is not fair, just, equal, reciprocal, and the scales are just tilting like that, you're like, hell to the no. Okay, here are the cards. I'm going to put them here. The next one, trust the universe. For some of you, this was a very difficult lesson for you to learn. Some of you are just in the beginning of processing and healing this particular, we'll just say, trauma or wound. And this could be setting your boundaries. Again, you're not going to go from people pleasing, no boundaries, to the next day being like setting all these boundaries. No, it's a gradual shift. And I can tell you from personal experience, it took me all of 2021 where I worked a lot on my boundaries with different people. The universe will bring in different people. I've never experienced that amount of, I'll just say, amount of different interactions that I've had last year, like I did in 2021. So many different people came into my path. And the universe does it for a reason, to help you learn these lessons. Little by little, step by step, one day at a time, you are going to learn this. So trust the universe. I feel like a lot of you, this is a very difficult release, like I was saying, until I got off that tangent. I can't be the only Libra that does this. Please let me know below if you do this too. I feel like many of you may have some trouble letting this situation or this person go because they were someone you considered near and dear to your heart. Again, whether it's an amorous, a love relationship, I'm getting more friendship. more someone you knew in that capacity, work or more social, but in that area. And I feel like for many of you, you're like, how could this have happened? I didn't see the signs, but you knew. That's the thing. You knew when things were off kilter. You knew. And it took something at the end to make you open your eyes and finally be like, wow, this person wasn't, or these people, or the situation wasn't what they, or what it presented itself to be. There's an element of trusting here and letting go. Look at this. There's a lot of clearing. Clear, cancel, and release. Clear your mind. Letting go. Trust. Because everything's going to work out. Next card. Honesty and communication. I feel like this taps into all the air signs. So you can have Aquarius, Gemini, Libra in your natal chart. But honesty, a lot of this required really straightforward communication on your part. I'm feeling this is your energy, Libra, not theirs or that situation. Many of you had to speak your truth and you didn't get the answer that you wanted, or the person did not, or the people or entire situation, whatever it is, did not respond in the way that you wanted it to. But you spoke your truth. Honesty, I know, is extremely important for Libras, and communication as well, as we're air signs. And it's the value many of us hold with our relationships, no matter what type they are. I feel for many of you, this also was a betrayal of some sort. Why are we getting so many cards? They're making me work harder. Earth and ground. Yep. Clear your mind. You see her sitting on the earth? It could be there's no gender. I just saw longer hair, but it could be any gender. They're sitting on the ground. Look at that. Almost, if you were to turn it around, it would look maybe similar. But get into the earth. It could mean just doing this, sitting on the ground, on the grass, or going on a walk, getting outside. That's going to help you start clearing some of this energy away. Because I know air signs, Libras in particular, have a tendency of replaying things in their head and creating different scenarios, and I think all air signs, I would say, and creating different scenarios of how things could have gone. It's almost like you're creating your own movies. Don't, because you're reliving that energy. Get out there and ground yourself and clear your headspace. You see the heart? For some of you, this is going to help you with your heart. Getting heart chakra energy, also solar plexus, but heart, because there's a heart here. For many of you, this broke your heart, the situation, and it doesn't have to be a love relationship. For those of you that had these people in your life, many of them were whom you considered friends. You thought they were friends. And it literally broke your heart because you're like, wow, friends don't treat friends like that. They don't backstab. They don't act this way with friends. They don't try to treat you in this manner. The last card we got, strength and guidance. Many of you are calling into your ancestors for this. Look at this. Wise one, grow within your current situation. A lot of you have been through shit in your life. I'm sensing. This is like one of the last, for many of you, this is the last type of situation that you're going to let happen in your life. You're not going to let people do this to you again. This was a huge lesson for many of you. Huge. For a lot of you, this only has helped you move forward. Many of you, this also spurred and was meant to happen to help you reconnect to who you are, to help you reconnect to your ancestors, and to help you learn to trust yourself. Because a lot of you had this inner knowing already about what was going to unfold. Holy smokes, look at all these cards we got. Earth and ground, honesty and communication, trust the universe. Okay. Let's pull a self-care oracle card for my Libras for the month of April. There is a lot of releasing still this month, many. A lot of releasing. It's always interesting what energies I feel and get, and what messages I get, both in the cards but also channeled. Okay. I wish they didn't flap as much. Oh, that was a softer shuffle. Okay, let's pull a card. What self-care guidance is in store for my Libras for the month of April? Ooh. This seems so fitting. Soak in a bath. Do you see that? Many of you may have water in your charts. I'm intuitively getting that. Water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is an amazing way to clear your mind. I don't know about some of you. I cut back on the number of baths I was taking because I love clearing my energy because I do a lot of this work. And I use Himalayan salt. I almost said sea salt. I use Himalayan salt and Epsom salts to take baths to clear my energy space. And it's such an amazing way to clear your mind. Literally, put your favorite herbs, flowers. You can make tea too. You know, put it in a sachet or a little thingy. They have those sustainable tea things that are metal or plastic, and you can make your own bath out of that. You can put tinctures in them. Some people do. Oils, salts, bubbles. Some people have candles. Beautify your space. Crystals too. I'm just getting heart chakra crystals. Any green or pink ones. Rose quartz is my favorite. I work with rose quartz and a lot of different green. Emerald too. Malachite, aventurine. There's so many. Soak in a bath. 4 and 6, that reduces to a 10. Or I should say that adds up to a 10. I've been saying reduces for all of them. But I think you all know what I mean. That's completion. Whatever you've just gone through, that your cycle, that was a completion of this cycle and of that contract. For some, it was a short contract. For others, it was a longer one. Why do I feel like I'm going to cry? For some of you, this is very emotional. This was very emotional. A lot of you need to find balance right now. You're emotionally like this. Holy smokes, my Libs. I see Libs. So I'm getting here. There's a situation. I'm doing a quick recap. A situation in which, wow, you essentially did not follow your intuition, but it was meant to happen that way because you were meant to learn a lesson regarding your own boundaries, your own worth, your own value. And many of you, this is a huge ass lesson that you've grown from. You are working with your ancestors at this time, and many of them are guiding you at this moment. We're getting full on Libra. A lot of you have a lot of Libra placements in your chart. A lot of this, for some, many of you are wondering, why the hell did this happen? Why? It's happening for you, not to you. This was meant to help you because it just elevated you. This is a spiritual glow up, a severe, major glow up. A lot of you need to release, purge, clear, not just your mind, but your energies. People, places, things that no longer serve you. Ground yourself and trust the universe. A lot of this can happen together. We have an upcoming full moon in Libra. This is a great time to release too. And be in your feelings and take care of yourself. Strength and guidance. This is one of also some of the things that you have gained from this situation. It's only made you stronger. But remember to tap into your own guidance. A lot of you innately have this. One way to clear your mind. I hope this resonated with any of my Libras out there. I would love it if you could like, share, and subscribe. And I hope the rest of the month treats you well. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye.